What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Kreative. Say it with me. We are back at it again to do what? To create something great. Now, we're going to be picking up right where we left off last time with regards to our Nite Krawler bot. I just want to make sure my levels are Gucci. Hold on. All right. Give me 1 second. Just want to make sure we are straight. All right, perfect. So if you want to check our description in there, you'll see a link to the part one. We're going to be picking up right where we left off and going to part two and finishing up our bot. Now with our Nite Krawler bot, just so you can have, hold on, just make sure I moved over to the right page. I didn't. Okay. Now I'm on the right page. Now, with our Nite Krawler bot, we created this in ChatGPT. Now, I was using Claude and Anthropic to be able to create a version of this bot as well, but I like what ChatGPT gave us. So we're going to be using the ChatGPT version. So I just want to go over real quick, real quick before we get into the actual coding of the bot. I'm using Cursor, and with inside Cursor, we're going to be using Claude Code. So the Nite Krawler is a QQQ overnight 0 DTE strategy. Remember, 0 DTE let us know that this is a, hold on, I just want to make sure that my levels, all right, because you know these levels could be devious, bruh. Y'all know these levels could be devious. All right, so 0 DTE is letting us know that this strategy, same day expiration, right? But this is going to be a little bit different because this is going to be overnight. So this is going to be next day expiration, right? Quote unquote. But 0 DTE lets you know that it expires the same day. So we're capturing the overnight moves of QQQ by buying short dated, out of the money, OTM means out of the money, calls or puts based on the micro movements of the 1 minute candle patterns called the little soldiers, holding overnight and then exiting within the first 25 minutes of the trading day. And again, what we're using is QQQ. QQQ is the top 100 non-bank companies within the NASDAQ. And here's some of the holdings within QQQ. You're going to have NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Broadcom. Did I just call it Apple? No, Amazon, Tesla. I feel like I said Amazon twice, but whatever. This is Google. Alphabet A is Google. And Alphabet C, that's YouTube. Now, don't ask me why. I don't know why they're calling themselves. This is Google, bruh. This is YouTube. I don't know why it's that, but hey, that's what it is. That's, if you have that power, you name it what you want, and that's what they landed on. So this is our strategy. So we've gotten to the part where we built it out. This is how we're going to enter our strategy with our little soldiers pattern, right? So we're looking for 3 consecutive bullish 1 minute candles. Now remember, a 1 minute candle, each one of these candles represents 1 minute, right? So what the strategy is going to do is look for 3 consecutive bullish candles, right? So right here, this will be an example, 3 consecutive bullish candles and 3 consecutive bearish candles, right? So, but this is SPY. Let me go get QQQ. QQQ. Let's open up QQQ. Remember, SPY is the S&P 500, the top 500 companies within the New York Stock Exchange. And I'm using TradingView. And how you can tell it's QQQ, because we see QQQ up here to the top left. And now I'm just waiting on it to load. It's not like we're live or anything, and we're going to have the people waiting. Holy cow, fam. Holy cow. Yes, I'm waiting too. So I want to wait until, that's crazy because it never like took that long. All right, that was weird. So let's see if we see our pattern, right? So we see it right here. So 3 higher highs. So it's looking for 3 higher highs, right? Remember, every green candle is a bullish candle, right? So bullish, what do bulls have? Horns. What do the horns do? Point up, right? So we think that the market is going to go up. So we're going to looking for 3 higher highs within 3 consecutive candles. Then we're going to be able to make sure that we have volume to confirm it as well, right? And that volume is 0.4%. So yes, I want some volume, but it doesn't have to be outrageous. And we're buying out of the money calls for bullish signals because we think that the market is going to go up. And if we see the same thing for bears, then 3 consecutive red candles, then we're going to be able to buy a puts, right? We're buying calls when we're bullish, when we're buying puts when we're bearish. No lagging indicators, pure momentum plus the micro price / volume action. option selection. We all this we went over. Like I built all this with you all on part 1, so I'm not going to bore you with the details of it. So where we left off on part 2. Oh, hold on. Shit. Did it move? It did move. All right. I don't need you. Beautiful. All right, so we left off on part 2 is having Claude Code review the data. So review the data and it is letting us know. There we go. That are the Greeks that we have stops at, this is 3 o'clock. I don't know why it's using military time, but whatever. So this is 3 o'clock. It stops at 3 o'clock and it's recommending that this is just our current backtest reference code that we use 2:40 to 3 o'clock, right? But what I'm going to do is recommend that we use let's use 2:30 or 2:20 to 3 o'clock. 2:20 to 3 o'clock. So give us another 20 minutes. So 2:20 to 3 o'clock. Proximate. So it's giving us recommendations because we don't have Greek data for 3 o'clock, past 3 o'clock, right? Wait, is that a thing though? I'm not going to ask you. Hold on. I have a question. So let's ask the question real quick. What time does Greek data stop being available live for options? For options, live Greek data is generally available while the market is open. Regular stock market is open from 9:30 to 4 p.m. The extended market, most brokers do not provide live Greek data in pre-market from 4 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. or aftermarket from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. Some brokers may show the estimate Greeks, but they're not the truly live since liquidity and pricing are lower. After the market closes, the Greeks typically stop updating dynamically because option pricing depend on the last traded price and the implied volatility, which updates are changing once trading stops. So platforms may update Greek slightly during the evening using theoretical models, but they're not live in the sense of reflecting the actual market activity. So if you want, no. All right. So, but my data only has, all right, that's fine. That's fine. If we can find it from 2 to 4, from 2:20 to 3, then maybe I should use that. So it's giving us a few recommendations. All right. I got to remember to switch over. It's giving us a few recommendations on what we should do instead of using 2 to or 3 to 4. It's recommending that we start at 3 since Greeks end at, but that's for our data. We know that live Greeks end at 4, right? To detect the little soldiers pattern from 2:40 to 3 o'clock, the last 20 minutes of data. Select the options using of the 3 p.m. theta, the latest available, and then hold overnight until the next morning from 9:30 to 9:55. Adjust the window. I'm thinking 2:20 instead of 2:40. Let's look at option 2. This option 2 is to detect patterns from 3:40 to 3:48 using the open, high, low, close. Use the 3 p.m. Greeks plus the underlying price delta to estimate the option price and then calculate the, no, I'm just going to go option 1 because option 2, bro, is just complicated for no reason. All right. Will 220 instead of 240 work with what we are doing? Advise via TLDR. Too long, didn't read. So we can get right to the yes, 240 works. The data coverage check. Let me check the data coverage. We have the 240 window. If it stops at 3, then logically thinking and speaking, right, we do have that 220 window. So I want to keep the 220 window, but I just want to make note that in live market and I hope maybe we can get this bot up and running. So let's see if we can finish this in an hour. If we could get this done in an hour, then we can paper test it live today too. And that'll be dope. That'll be the first time I ever did that. So if we can get this done in an hour, and when I mean done, we're going to back test it. Remember what a back test is? It's throwing our strategy in a time machine and seeing how well it does in 2024, 2023, 2022, and then adjust the parameters accordingly. But we want to do so without overfitting, meaning that making the strategy work for only one particular year, right? We want it to be year agnostic, but we are looking for our strategy to be market regime specific, meaning that it's looking for very specific conditions in order for it to get into a trade. I don't want it to be market regime agnostic, meaning that it trades whenever, however. No, we want the latter to be market regime specific. Okay, leaves a 2-minute buffer before the market closes. Okay. Yes, it works perfectly. The data available 71K options available at each onward. So strategy. Okay, hold on. Add a cough. I'm not trying to cough in your ear. All right. Before we proceed, lay out the full parms slash config parameters configs for the strategy so we can review before we create the backtest. So a backtest, So a backtest is being able to take your strategy, drop it off in a time machine, and see how well it performs in 24, 23, and 22. And if we're going to update or adjust any of the parameters or configurations, we want to do so in a way that doesn't overfit or create bias. Now, the reason we don't want to create bias is because we're creating algorithmic code, right? We're creating code that's going to, excuse me, all an algorithm is just a set of instructions and rules, right? So I want to make sure that these set of instructions and rules can be applied across years, not necessarily across different markets, right? Or different regimes. The regime that we're going to be looking for is going to be very specific, right? We're looking for that 3 candle, right? The 3 little soldier movement. So, bro, I really thought the output was going to be a lot quicker than what you're doing here. But since you want to take a year and a day, okay, here's the output. Here we go. So the Nite Krawler, the full strategy, we're using QQQ, 0 DTE, purchase at end of day, 1 minute from 220 to 258. So the market opens and then 25-minute max hold time. Entry signal is the little soldiers. Remember, the little soldiers is, right here. 3 consecutive green candles or 3 consecutive red candles. So 3 consecutive green is letting us know that we're bullish. 3 consecutive red is letting us know that we're bearish. We're also going to need volume to be attached to that. So we're not just looking for the price movement, but I want to make sure that there's people actually buying and selling. So that's what volume is letting us know. It's just the buying and selling, right? So I just don't want price movement, but I also want the volume confirmation, right? And it has to be greater than or equal to the 30% minus or equal, minus the high, right? And then they put it to the same thing, but it's just 30 red, 3 consecutive red candles. Entry confirmation. After each pattern completes, confirm. Call QQQ is greater than or equal to the 3rd soldier candle, and then put the QQQ price is less than or equal to the 3rd soldier candle. If no confirmation within the 2 minutes, skip trade. So we have the basic filters, 0 DTE expires the next day. We talked about delta. This is the probability of profit, or the, excuse me. So delta range is 0.15. So this is the probability of profit. So we're buying options with a probability to expire in the money, right? A 15% or 48%. Now follow me, but don't follow me. But follow me if you're a Vine follower, you understand. But follow me, right? And it also is letting us know that if the stock price moves $1 or loses $1, right? This option is going to lose or gain $15, or this option is going to lose or gain $48, right? So that's what delta is telling us. The premium is the maximum that we're going to pay per contract, anywhere from $2 to, $10, right? Because there's 100 shares in one option contract, right? And if I'm going too fast, let me know. I can slow down a bit, but again, We went over all of this in our first video. So if you want to go check out part 1, I really went over this in detail, but I don't want to waste you all's time. And I'm on a bit of a time crunch here because I want to see if we can get this done within an hour so we can paper test it today and catch the results tomorrow. So premium is the minimax. So $10 to $200. Distance is out of the money distance. So we're going a little bit further away. So this looks good. TP targets. So that's take profit. Starting capital. All of our option strategies start at $100. Reason being, so we want to be able to dispel the notion that you need thousands of dollars in order to trade options. Now we're doing it very, very specific here, right? Until told otherwise, we're going to be starting with 100, and we're going to be trading ETFs, exchange traded funds, right? Either QQQ or SPY. IWM, I haven't done as much because of liquidity issues. And liquidity basically means if you're buying, there's someone to sell it to. And if you want to sell, there's someone you can buy from, right? So liquidity for IWM, Russell, and Russell is the top 2,000 small cap companies, right, within the New York Stock Exchange. No, NASDAQ. No, that's New York Stock Exchange. The reason I don't want to use Russell yet is because of liquidity issues. SPY and QQQ, liquidity out this world, and we can make this work, right? And we're getting diverse set of companies, right? It's not like we're getting, yes, there's going to be some overlap, meaning there's going to be some companies in QQQ that are in SPY, but not all companies that are in SPY are in QQQ, right? So that's why I like to use the two, and SPY is going to be the most liquid of the two, and QQQ is just bringing us a little bit more volatility. So we talked about that. All of our strategies starting at $100. Have our exit. So I think we are ready to go. All right, so let's go ahead and let's proceed and create the backtest. Call it. This is little homie. The little homies, bt.py. And let's get this in. All right, so we're having our backtest created. In order to test this strategy, we're going to start testing it on 2024, and then I want to gauge how well it performs. Now, I'm really interested to see how it happens and what happens with regards to being able to create this strategy. All of this we did in Claude Code. So this is Claude strategy, right? Or ChatGPT, excuse me, strategy that I started. And then I used Claude Code to be able to like flesh some of the ideas out a little bit more. All this is in part 1. And then this part, we're going to be back testing, maybe optimizing, and optimizing just basically saying that, hey, we're going to be adjusting some of the parameters. So maybe instead of entering at 220, we're going to enter at 240, right? Maybe instead of saying, hey, you got to be 30% of the body, let's try 20% of the body. Instead of saying 0.4 times the volume, let's try 0.2, right? So optimization is trying different parameters, trying different sets of configurations, and seeing how does that react, how does the strategy react to it. What I'm looking for, right? If we can get the strategy to be able to average a 70% win rate, right? You got to graduate all of my strategies, all of the strategies that we've done, right? Unless I've seen something that like really, really great on them. You got to have at least a minimum 60% win rate. I don't want to coin flip, right? A minimum at least 60% coin rate, the higher the better, in order for you to graduate from backtesting school. And that's what we're going to call this, backtesting school, right? You have to have a Sharpe ratio of at least 0.45, right? The higher the better. The reason I'm not too keen on it is because what we're doing is inherently a little bit more risky. So that Sharpe ratio being a little bit lower, yes, but there's some offsets, right? That's why I'm requiring a high win rate. That's why I'm requiring that max drawdown. And what a max drawdown is, where all of our strategies start at $80. I do not want the strategy to go past $80, right? So that's 20%, right? So our max drawdown has to be less than 20%. If it's over 20%, you better have a damn good reason why, right? Another thing is our profit factor. I want our profit factor to be over 1.5. It could be 2. That's phenomenal. And what a profit factor is for every $1 that you lose, you're making $2, right? So I want our profit factor to be high. All right, perfect. That was enough. I was trying to fill space. Perfect. Backtest is ready to go. Let's get her and lil homies bt.py. Let's see. All right, perfect. Our backtest is running. Let me go to our notes and put backtest. While that is loading. While that is loading, give me 1 second. I'm gonna put backtest V1 baseline 2024. New high. Boom. So that's ready to go. Now let's go to our backtest. All right, our backtest is loading. Now I'm waiting for our backtest to get it in. Again, the reason it's taking so long, you try to do something 23 million times and tell me how long that takes you. So what our backtest is doing is creating the environment. It's recreating 2024, right? And the way it's recreating it is with all the data that we gave it. And the way that we get our data, and I'm pretty sure I showed this before, but just in case I didn't, we get our data from Theta Data. They are not sponsored. But if you do want to sponsor, what up, though? Because I can't use a break on that, bro. So we get our data from Theta Data. Theta Data is a little bit more comprehensive. I mean, I used to use Polygon or Massive. I'm still going to call you Polygon, but it's not as comprehensive as Theta Data, right? So that's why I get our option data from Theta Data, and then IBKR. If you say open up an account there, you get free data there. Alpaca is just the same, and then who else? That's pretty much it. So it's Theta Data or IBKR, Alpaca. Who else? That's it. Yeah, that's it. Yahoo Finance, but not really. Yeah, not really. So I'm waiting for this to load, and that's just a mistake on my end. I was hitting up arrow and back arrow, so that's why that's there. So I'm just waiting for the backtest to load, and once it loads, we'll be able to take account. And we're running the backtest on 2024 to see how well the strategy performs within 2024. So y'all are going to be able to see all of our strategies start at what? $100. Hold on. Here we go. The little homies. I told you start at $100. So let's see what's up. Again, the reason I love this is because we don't go hunting trades. We do go hunting trades, but we don't trade every day, right? If there's no signal confirmation, we're going to get out. We're not trying to overtrade. We're looking for the right trade. But this may be a little bit too restrictive, but we'll see. We'll see. And what I'm going to do, I have to create our folders real quick, because I want to stay organized. Create a folder called Backtest Results. And within those folders, I'm using the side panel within. Oh, here's our first trade. We card our first trade, y'all. Oh, we got in overnight. And then let's see. We're selling it in the morning. Expired worthless. Oh, I got to find out what happened there. We got it, but it expired worthless. Huh. How did it expire worthless, homie? I don't know. I'm going to figure that out as soon as that populates. But we have 25 minutes and it's a zero. That doesn't make sense. I don't know. I think there may be something off, but we'll see. Let me go collect that just in case. Let me just collect this trade real quick, and then I'm going to paste it here. Case study. All right, and let's keep going. I pasted it in Canva, but give me a second. Let me just finish this. Oh, okay, we caught another trade. This is a call of 445. We bought it for $33. And then expired worthless. Another expired worthless. Yeah, there's something wrong with the mechanics of being able to buy, because I'm not buying. We're buying 0 DTE, but for the next day. So why is it expiring worthless? Huh. again, I think there's something wrong with the mechanics here, but nonetheless, let's keep going, and then let's see how this works. And I'm going to be completely upfront. Not all strategies work. We may need to scrap it, right? And if we do need to scrap it, I will let you know upfront. I'm not going to waste your time. So we'll see how it works. And this is a new concept, new idea that I'm testing out here. So let me see how it works, because this may be better on SPY versus QQQ. But again, I don't have late afternoon data for SPY. I only have morning, because I only do morning. All right, but let's let this keep going. Create a folder called backtest results, and within those folders, create another set for 2022 through 2024, and then within those create V1 baseline, so we can just stay organized. All right, let's make sure. No, Jit. Oh my goodness, I can cuss you out, bro. No. Oh, I didn't know you can use microphones, but the heck you can. No, that is wrong. Each year is supposed to get one. 2022, 2023, 2024. Tighten up. Tighten up. Thank you. Thank you. All right, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me. You know what? I think this may needs to be a we may need to do a little 2-for-1 strategy here, y'all. But nah, I'm interested to see how this is going to work, because I really think there's some misplaced logic here when it comes to like the overnight expiring overnight. You know what? While the backtest is running, all right, perfect. The backtest is still currently running. Review. And let's make sure the logic slash function for selling the next day is correct. Doesn't make sense how we are expiring worthless when we are supposed to be selling within 25 minutes after market opens. So yeah, I'm gonna get caught on the job now, because this doesn't make no sense. Like, I just bought the option. You got 25 minutes to oh, I see it right there. Hold time for damn near bruh, 1,000 minutes. You got 25 minutes. Why are you holding it for 1,000 minutes? How come I didn't see that before? Okay, this makes sense. You're only supposed to be holding it for 25 minutes. The problem, the exit window filter by 9:30 to 9:55, line 603 to 606, but the Greek data only goes from 3 goes to 3 p.m. So there's no next morning data to exit with. That doesn't make sense. That does not make sense. There is Greek data for 9:30 a.m. market open till, you know what? This is like pissing me off at this point. Hold on, y'all. Because there's something that we're missing that I need to get better. So let me bring over this data information real quick, and let me just nip this in the butt. Open and supposed to go to 4 p.m. Review, and then run a series of C curls to theta data via terminal command to understand what we are missing in the data before we create a script to pull it, and then combine with the current so we can have the full data set complete. This is almost done anyway, so this is going to work because you're going to stop trying me. Like, I know it's there. I know it's there, homie. Like, you just big tripping right now. You just big tripping right now. For what reason? No reason. For what reason? No reason. All right. Get me right. Get me right. Get me right. Get me right. Let me go look at the backtest should be like wrapping up soon. Yeah, backtest should be wrapping up. Oh, it's holding it overnight, so that's why it's accumulating. It's accumulating that fast. But still, like there is, I don't know. I really do feel like jit tripping. Like I really, really do feel like jit tripping. I'm not gonna hold you. Um, yeah, it's crazy. 2 trades. Doesn't even tell me where I peaked at. Nope. No, it doesn't even tell me where we peaked at. It's expired worthless. While this is running, I'm gonna grab some agua. Give me a second. I can close you because that's just flutter. Bro, come on, get right, man. Get right, homie. All right, give me 1 second. All right, my fault. Thought I hit enter. I thought I hit enter. Well, hold on. I'm just checking my levels. Right. Yeah, I was tripping for a second. Your Paraguay follows only go to 3 p.m., but Theta Data has the full market. Okay. What's happening is that you pre-downloaded the snapshot, but the live API has the full. Pull the missing. Create a script to download the next morning script. For oh wow, that's going to take some time. Change the strategy to use the same afternoon. To exit the same afternoon instead of the next morning. That doesn't work. Bro, um, wait. We are missing something here. The strategy currently has current day, and next day Greek data. So what is the disconnect? currently with using the next day Greek data to sell in the morning within 25 minutes. What is the issue here? That is the question. And we will discuss the latter, creating a script to pull the remaining if truly needed. Which I don't think. I just think there's some like real big confusion on the data, right? Because we already have the data. If I have the current day, Jit, you said it goes to 3 p.m. Why can't you get the next day? It's from 9:30. The Greeks are there. Like you just tripping right now. Big tripping, homie. Which I don't. So what I want to do, okay, consecutive days. Here we go. Get me right, get me right, get me right. And sometimes you got to fight with the AI, right? And sometimes you got to fight with hard code. I'm not going to hold you because you know better, but it's trying to tell you that, oh, it doesn't work, it doesn't exist. Bitch, what? Nah, man, watch. Oh, you were right. I was wrong. Should I fix the code? I found the issue. The data is there. The code is logic. The Paraguay files have no shit. Have the next morning data from 9:30 to 9:55, but there's a bug in the little homies BT backtest file. The issue is that the logic flow, the current code is that the next day equal the trade day plus delta. This gets the calendar day, not the trading day. So while the days check max tries equals next day equals next day Greeks equal Greeks data frame, and the Greeks data frame equals the date equals the next date, and bring me the copy of it, and then the length of the next day Greeks. This might fail if the next day is a weekend or holiday. The problem is that the time delta days equal 1 adds 1 calendar day, which could be Saturday and Sunday, no trading, results in holiday, no trading. Result is the next day Greek is empty, position never exit, expires worthless. The fix is need to find the next trading day, not the next calendar day. So get a list of the available trading days from the data. Trading days equals sorted Greek data frame equals date. Find the next trading date. Current IDX equal trading date. All right. If date underscore IDX plus 1, this is less than the actual trading day, then the next day. All right. No trading day in the data set. Do you want me to fix this? All right. Quickly test logic first before implementing. Then once passed, let's proceed to implement in the file. And I know you may be saying, "Oh, you can't spell worth the shit, bro." It ain't that right now. What the problem is like it, and the AI has what's called fuzzy or these different type of, how autocorrect and Siri, right? So the same thing here. So it's able to say, okay, you know what? This is not fist. This is first. This is not before. This is before, right? And it's implement. So it knows how to be able to correct the spelling, right? Once passed, let's proceed to implement it. So this is not a big deal. The big deal is just making sure that we point it in the right direction. There's going to be times that it wants to veer off to the left and create its own problem, right? You never heard those people that they give you the illness and then sell the cure? Sometimes ChatGPT or sometimes these AIs will do that, right? They'll tell you, okay, this is the illness, then okay, here's the cure, right? But that illness really wasn't a thing. It was just something that was wrong in our data set. So we had to fight a little bit, just let you know, no, I know that the data is there. I know that there's just something wrong in the code. So go find what's wrong in the code. Let me know. Go test it. And then once the logic passed, okay, proceed to implement. Did I tell you he's going to understand what I'm talking about? All right, proceed. All right, proceed. Get me right. Get me right. Get me right. Get me right. So I'm about to say, um, and also I think the strategy is being a little bit too restrictive too, but I'm not going to bring that up. I want it to make sure that this logic works first, and then once we confirm this logic slash function works, um, run the back test. Hold on. All right, let's double check it is working without issues. Damn, I got 30 minutes. Let's really, the strategy is supposed to be running right now. I'm not going to hold you. Let's see if I can get this done. Bitch, come on. Okay, bro. I can cuss you out, man. Before, here is the first backtest results, review, and advise. Aside from the issue we fixed now, are the parameters, I'm just going to say params, but are the parameters overly restrictive? Can we make it more aggressive? Da-dum, 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 da-dum. Right here. Running Nite Krawler. Yep, I told you expired worthless. That was the whole, it couldn't find the Greeks, but again, that should be fixed. $39 candles per day seem kind of low. Oh, because we're only going in from, we only got what? That's 48 minutes. So that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Maybe I can more easier immediate. No, I'm going to keep this entry confirmation what it is. Closer to the money, include in the money. Distance, okay. TP levels, no, you can stay at your take profit levels. The exit bug, the exit window shows 8:40 a.m. pre-market. We need to verify the next day exit is using the correct timestamp. Should I implement the aggressive change? What you're going to do is do the following. The soldier, you can go from 0.3 to 0.2. I'm typing on another screen, then I'm going to bring it over. Soldier volume, you can go from 0.4 to 0.28. Keep the entry confirmation. Don't do that. Bring it back. Delta min.
Data connection reestablished.
Delta min, keep it where it is at, and delta max, let's go 0.60. You can go to the nope. Keep the strike distance the same and TP levels. All right, beautiful. All right. So what I want to do, move the files to V1 2024 baseline. We said move, do not copy them, move them. All right. Let me get the little. I wanted. I was about to say, bro, if you moved in, we was gonna have some problems. Oh, I was about to say, how did you get there? How did you get there? I remember I wrote it. All right, we're gonna run the little homies one more time. We're gonna run it. Let's see what's up. We are going to run it again. Let's see what's really good. You know what I can do is I don't need these files right now, so I can delete them and then leave what I do need. Leave what I do need, and that's the homies. We are waiting for this to load. So y'all just be patient as this loads. I really do appreciate y'all's patience. And here we go. Almost there. Again, it's doing something 23 million times, right? You try to do something 23 million times and tell me how long that takes you. Okay, but that's a little facetious. Let's try. Here we go. Boom. All right, backtest is running. Let's see what's good. Let's see what's good, y'all. You know, I'm keeping it where it's at. Remember, we made the primer just a little bit more aggressive. The first 10 days, we didn't see anything. Again, I'm not going to, because with this particular strategy, I'm not going to force it. If it doesn't work, then we're going to use this as a lesson episode, right? Not all strategies work. Not all strategies are able to and blast off the shit. I wish, right? But there are going to be times where a strategy just doesn't pan out. Okay. We still are expired worthless. So both of these are still expiring worthless, kid. Okay, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense at the um review and seems as if still expiring worthless. Let's find the issue that is causing these problems. This is crazy, fam. Because if we are catching them, it's like, bruh, all right, come on now. Noodling. Why are these options expiring? Worthless, fam. That's what we got to get down to the bottom of. Again, this seems like this is probably going to be a process. I'm not going to hold you. And again, what was I saying? Not all strategies pan out, right? And if this doesn't pan out, that's okay. I'm going to use this as a lesson. And it's like, all right, this one didn't work. Let's go on to the next one, right? Well, that's okay, right? Not everything works out. We need to be able just to accept that and then continue on and keep pushing. So I'm going to give this like another 20 or 30 minutes or so to see how this works out. If I'm not going to hold you, I may keep working on it after even I'm done being live here, but I'll explain what I've done, how I did it, why I did it, if I do continue working on it. You about to give 1,000 tokens. The strategy says 0 DTE, but it's 1 DTE. What's actually happened is that we're entering at January 31st at 12:21. We're buying a 0 DTE expiring. Oh, no. It's supposed to be expiring the next day, not the same day. We're buying options expiring tomorrow, not today. This way, we're entering option is we're buying. Bruh, get right. Exit option still has hours before expiration. That's Albert, y'all. Don't mind him. Sometimes he's just being nosy. So with this fix, this let me just stop the back test because just running for no reason. With this fix, this will allow us to, in essence, purchase the 1 DTE options that expire the next day, but still play it as 0 DTE because the exit required for when it does expire and become 0 DTE. I may have found the flaw. This is probably the flaw. Exactly. Let me clarify the full flow. Minimum DTE, max DTE, entry day. Okay. Buy option expiring February 1st, tomorrow with 1 day to expiration. Option has 25 hours until expiration, 4 p.m. the next day. We're going to hold it overnight. Day 2, February 1st. We have 25 minutes to exit. Option now is 0 DTE, expires 4 p.m. Still has 6.5 hours left of time. Exit within the first 25 minutes. Option expires at 4 p.m., but we're already out. Overnight exposure, it captures the move. Exit while the option still has value. Morning of the expiration, technically playing 0 DTE on the exit day. It is 0 DTE. We avoid the worthless expiration. Exit 6+ hours before the 4 p.m. exit. The language, we're purchasing the 1 DTE expiring tomorrow, hold overnight, and then exit the expiration morning. Okay. Before, does the data we have support this being able to buy for options expiring the next day? Because I'm not going to hold you. Most of these option data that I have is 0 DTE expiring the same day, but I think we should be able to make this work. I'm not going to hold you. I think if I have to pull this, I'm not going to hold you. We're just going to call this a day, and I'm going to pull the data, and then we'll get back at this thing. But I'm not going to hold y'all. And while I'm pulling this data, this shit is going to take some time. That's my only little gripe with data. I guess with everybody, most of them, it takes like damn near 30, 45 minutes like per year sometimes. Sometimes it can be quicker. Like the quickest I seen was like 2020. I got it done in like 15 minutes, but still, that's for the full year. But you got to understand, you're getting calls, you're getting puts, you're getting 1 minute data for the full year. That's a lot of data, bro. Let me show you an example while I'm waiting on that output. Here is, where are you? You're right here. Data, QQQ, organized, 2021, Greeks. And again, Greeks, you got to go to calls inputs, right? So this is just 1 week, or this is just January. This is just January, bro. January has Okay, hold on. Make sure I go to the bottom. January has 218,130 data points. This is just for calls, right? And then I have another one for puts, right? This is just for Greeks. So I understand why it's taking that long. I can understand why it could take that long. Shit. I told you. This means option expiring the same day. Were downloaded. No 1 DTE. Re-download. Change the strategy the same day. No, that shit is too risky, bro. Use 0 DTE but a different approach. Enter earlier in the day and then exit the same afternoon. Oh. Bro. All right, I am not gonna hold y'all. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it a day right now. Yeah, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it a day. I may even just pull this video. I may just pull both of those videos down. I don't know. This is some shit, man. It's either we're gonna re-download the data. Um, no, because I want to work with. But this overnight play, I'm telling you, it has some legs, bro. It has some legs, but to re-download all of this data is going to take us some time. So and you saw how 1 month had 218,000. So it's going to take me 15 minutes per year because I need it from 24, 23, 22, and then I need to get it organized. This is not overnight though. That's way too long. Use existing 0 DTE but with different approach. All right, let me try option 3 before I just go maybe just pull the data, and we're just going to try this again with the same data. So hold on. If we were to go with option 3, how would it work again? How would it work? And how would it work? Yeah, just how would it work? Advise via TLDR. No, because that shit is like bruh. And does it make sense? Should we just pull the data we need? I think we should just pull the data we need, and I'll come back with this tomorrow. I'm not going to hold y'all. Or maybe I just come back on tonight. Pull the data. I told you, just pull the data, bro. Cause this shit, it could work, man. All right, hold on, bruh. Fetch. Where's QQQ? Let me just see this. Let me copy this. Bring you here. All right. Review what we use to pull the data from for 0 DTE. Then proceed to run a few. Ah, damn. Let me just bring this over again real quick. And I know I deleted it, but whatever. Yeah, maybe I'll just come back on tonight and finish this song with y'all later on. Then proceed to run a few C curls via terminal command to understand how it works exactly with request parameters. That's crazy how whatever request parameters and output format. Then advise how we can copy this script, then update accordingly based on what we need done. Damn. You know what I need to check? You know what I need to check? Because this is going to be more data, bro. So where you at right now with the where you at right now? You shouldn't be over 49. This is definitely going to bring over 52. This is definitely all right. So that's what's going to happen. I'm going to get the data up. I'm going to go pull the data, and then it's going to take me a few hours to be able to get this done. Once I get the data, and then I'm able to have this work, fam. You know what? Since this is one DTE, and I don't foresee us using this, um, this is probably the only strategy I'm going to use this for. I'm not going to hold you. Maybe I'll have different strategies that I could use this. But normally I go for 0 DTE, options that expire the same day. Terminal is running and responsive. The 1 DTE is available at the entry. Okay. And exit both Greeks and quotes. Okay. Wildcard strike works. New tomorrow. Fetch the next day expiration for each available. Download the Greeks. Oh, this is going to be a little shorter. No, no, no. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Let's see if we can get the Greek times based off what we need, i.e. a larger window. Let's test if we can get from 1:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. For what we need here. Um, Make it noon. Make it noon. So you get the afternoon session from noon to 4 p.m. so we can have options to test different ranges. This may be a little bit quicker than I thought. Hold on. I may just leave y'all here. Because I just remember, bro, it's not the full day I need. So I may just leave y'all here. Oh, I should have did the entry too. Also, test from 9:30 a.m. to 10:20. Let's do 10:30 a.m. as well for exit. Yeah, because I want to make sure I just don't want that 20-minute. I want us to be able to just have an hour just in case. You see me? You see me? Yeah, this data file is staying right here. I'm not gonna hold you. Data QQQ. 2024. Beautiful. Thank you. All right, entry window. Okay, 240 minutes, 108% coverage. I love that. Gives flexibility to test 12, 13. Okay, beautiful. This is going to be a little bit quicker. I'm not going to hold you. And then exit data the next day. Okay. For 2024. Oh, I'll organize it later. I'll organize it later. I was gonna have it do calls, puts, No, but I'll organize that later. Don't worry, I'll organize that later. Copy a little reference point. Then I can delete this. Y'all, depending on how quick this is, I may just leave y'all here and just have this run. So we just get this done. So I don't even gotta run. I don't gotta come back, son. I'm not a rapper. But I'm a rapper. I'm not a rapper. Listen, man. I really, really do appreciate y'all like sticking through and being able to like go through this with me. I'm not gonna hold you because like I thought I had the data. Like I was talking big man. I was chatting big man shit, bro. I was chatting too much, fam. I was chatting way too much, fam. I was like, you know what? I got it and we can slide, but guess what? It just didn't work out the way that it was. You feel me? It didn't work out that way. You feel me? Okay, let me go ahead and put the little auto accept on. And the reason I put the auto accept on is because it's not going to pull up the window. Oh, do you want to accept? So I just put auto accept on so it can accept because I know what it's doing. All right. I only put the auto accept when I know what it's doing. Right. We've already went through everything. We tested all the no. Damn it, it's about to compact. You hoe. Let's see how long this takes. Let's see how long this takes. So the data. So you see that. Oh, yeah, we may. If it's going to do that for all of them, that's going to be tough. Let me look. Let me look. Let me look. Let me look. This is just the third. Y'all, this is just the third. All right. That's crazy. This is just the third. So it's going to do that for all of them that I need to combine. That's crazy. You making my work so much harder. All right. So I thought this was going to be a little bit faster, but apparently not. So you see the data downloading. You see it's taking a little bit too long, right? So I'm not going to have you wait. Part 3 is coming up. I didn't do this on purpose. Shit, it was the data, bruh. It wasn't me. Blame it on the data. Blame it on the data, not the alcohol. Blame it on the data, the data. So y'all gonna give me about like and maybe an hour or two to be able to go through all this, download it all. I just showed you, bruh. Like whatever. For one day, 10,000 lines. One day, bruh. And that's just for calls. So it's going through it. It's going to download all of the data, and then once we get all of it, don't worry. Part 3 is coming up. And all this will get done today. I was hoping we can like paper test today, but I was chatting big. I was chatting too big, fam. I was chatting too big. But we'll be back in a little bit to be able to get this done. It's your boy Kreative, and yes, we're still going to create something great. I appreciate you.